Let's make lemonade. Okay, let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go!
Six!
It's beautiful!
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. And if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, well, Willis Automotive has you covered because, yes, they are in Waukee. A great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles that's very close to home. Check out Willis Waukee Pre-Owned and get your next car today. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave your comments in the comments section. Of course, always follow us on our social media channels. Good morning, Ross Peterson.
What's up, buddy? How is yeah? How is you? Whatever.
Good. I got home about 7 last night. I made really, really good time on Interstate 80. I spent yesterday in Kearney, had a really good day, and drove about 80, 82 all the way home, and it was a good drive. Good window time.
Beauty of that Nebraska speed limit. Nice job. Nice job.
Yeah, it's 75 all the way across, so usually you're pretty safe. You know, I probably could have stretched it about 83, 84, but, you know, even when you get – I hit 95 once when I was making a pass, and then I'm like, okay, I got to slow down. I got to slow down. I didn't know the Malibu could go. I was driving a company car, and I didn't know the Malibu –
Not a cruise guy?
Well, but I was doing a pass.
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry. Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta get around this guy. So I, hit about 95. I'm like, the Malibu is gonna start shaking. If I go any faster, I don't know if I could do that. But yeah, we had a comment earlier, and I want to say good morning to Mike. Mike says, hey, I'm donating plasma this morning so I can listen live. Mike. You must be going on vacation, because the only reason to give plasma is to go get the money to start saving for vacation.
Is plasma, total idiot here, never done it. Is plasma like blood in, like, you know how when there's certain people that have like a certain type of blood that the blood bank needs?
Yeah.
Does Mike have like special plasma where they're reaching out to him going, Mike, bring the gold. Come on, man.
I think they want everybody's plasma.
Do they? Is plasma?
Yeah, plasma is plasma. They take the plasma out of the blood, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can give like twice a week. If there's regular plasma givers out there, let us know. But I think it's like twice a week you can donate the plasma. But they pay you for the plasma. They don't pay you for the blood. You'd think it'd be the other way around, because they're always looking for blood, right? They're always like, hey, come give blood. I don't give either because I don't like needles. And
what a wimpy excuse for both of us. Because I'm the exact same thing. I don't do it. Why? Because I don't like needles. You know, it could save another person's life. Yeah, but did I mention the needle thing?
I don't want to go through pain. It's my pain and suffering over your pain and suffering.
It's like this tiny little pinch, and again, I'm throwing myself into the penalty box with you. Under the bus, whatever, because I'm the exact same way. And then you see the people that have like they've given like 15 gallons of blood or whatever in your lifetime. Like, man. So good on Mike going to give the plasma.
Yeah. And listening to us live. So he's got the earbuds in. He's sitting there with a needle in his arm, and he's getting talked about, worldwide right now. So, Mike, congratulations, and thanks for doing the duty that Ross and I are too cowardly to do, and that's giving plasma.
This is like when we talk to somebody that's a veteran. Thank you, because we didn't do it.
I was close. I took the ASVAB. I had like one piece of paper signed, and I was going back and forth between the Army and the Air Force, and I was going to be in the Armed Services Radio Network. I wanted to be the next Adrian Cronauer. And then I fell in love. And I'm like, well, I can't leave my girlfriend. I can't leave my girlfriend. So I ended up at Grandview. And my wife ended up at Iowa State.
East side of Des Moines, Beirut, very similar at that time.
It was, and I would have been in the Persian Gulf War if I would have gone in '89. I would have.
Wow.
But Anjanette made it quite clear, even when we were seniors in high school, if you go to the service, I will not marry you ever.
She was looking for a way out.
She was looking for a way out, and I took it. I said, okay, because she thought for sure she's like, I'll just tell him this, and I know he's bullheaded enough that he's going to go to the service.
Yeah,
I'm like,
if I give him an ultimatum, he's going to tell me, screw you. If she gave you the ultimatum and you went, okay, she went, shit. All right, what's my next way out here?
Driftus Iwan says, such patriots. Listen, I had two brothers that served, and I if you look at anybody that's not military type, you're looking at me, right? I mean, I am just I don't follow orders very well. I don't. I'm kind of more of a person that likes to do things on his own. And I would not have been a good fit in the United States military. I know that. And
more importantly, as my dad so astutely would put it, I'm a sissy.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad was a boxer who did 3 tours in Vietnam. I learned very early on what it took to be that. And I didn't have it.
Now, where I think I could have served my country is in like the CIA or the FBI or something like that. I think I would have been a good spy.
I listened to Tim Allen and Bill Maher yesterday. Okay. And Tim Allen was talking about how he got to talk to a guy in the CIA. And he said, the guy said, what do you want to know? And he said, well, I got some questions. He said, fire away. What's your question? And he says, I'm wondering about this alien stuff. And he goes, what's your question? I think you guys have found some stuff. Yeah. I think that there's this. And he says, basically at the end of it, when I went to ask a question, his answer was, I think you know all the answers to the questions that you're asking. And it reminded me of those conversations that I have with my one buddy, where I'm like, dude, what do you do for a living? I answer emails. No, what do you do for a living? As little as possible. Anyway, I want to see, I started watching the Philip Seymour Hoffman movie where he's the CIA agent. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Oh, it was really good. And I don't remember what happened. I turned it off. Must have fallen to sleep.
What's the name of the movie?
I don't even remember. That's how good it was.
I don't even remember. That's how good it was.
Give me a minute.
We do have a busy show coming up at 7 o'clock. Todd Stepsis, head coach for the Northern Iowa Panther football team, going to be joining us. A couple questions for him. One regarding North Dakota State leaving the Missouri Valley Conference, going to the Mountain West Conference. And then we're going to ask him about Joe Woodley, who is reportedly leaving Drake to be a defensive assistant at Rutgers. We're going to get to that in a second. But we also have another interview coming up at 7:30 as the college baseball season kicks off this weekend for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're in the Major League Baseball Desert Classic down in Arizona. They're going to play Kansas State, Air Force, and Northeastern. Head coach Rick Heller going to join us at 7:30 to preview the upcoming Iowa Hawkeye baseball season. But Ross, yesterday, mid-afternoon, it was released, and Justin sent us a text about Joe Woodley being named in a defensive assistant. Hasn't officially been named yet. We haven't seen anything from Rutgers. We haven't seen anything from Drake yet. I reached out to Joe Woodley, have not heard back from Joe. I reached out to Brian Harden. I have not heard back from Brian Harden. So we made the attempts to get both of those gentlemen on this show, who they've been regulars on this show. It's not like they ignore us, but I would say there's a lot of truth in silence. Does that make sense? Yeah. When you go dark, you're like, I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But I was kind of shocked. And, there's a lot of rabbit holes to go down here. But let's first start off by saying, when you saw that, how surprised were you? And you were a little confused on the title, right?
I thought he was going as defensive coordinator. When I saw the press release, I thought when I saw the Pete Thamel tweet.
Yeah.
And how that seems to carry the same weight now as like a press release. Yeah, my first thought was, wow, this is a great move for Joe, because what an awesome position. knowing that he's going to join Travis Johansson. I've known Travis for a long time too, because Travis was the defensive coordinator for the Vikings team. Started as a defensive coach under Woodley on the defensive side of the ball. When Joe became assistant head coach under his dad, Travis became defensive coordinator. Travis then went to go be coach at South Dakota, where he moved up the ranks very quickly. Went from being, I think, the same thing, like a D-backs coach, right, Trav? You had this out earlier. He
started as a head coach. Then he went to defensive coordinator, then associate head coach and defensive coordinator. Then he spent one season as head coach where they went 10-5, made a pretty good run in the FCS playoffs. And obviously, he's like, you leave a head coaching job at the FCS to be a defensive coordinator at Rutgers. I understand the move, but obviously Travis wants to be a head coach, right? You see that progression of what he wants to do. And what do you do when you take a new job? You want to surround yourself with people you know, you trust, and you like. And he knows Joe Woodley. You were talking about the friendship that they have. It's no wonder that he would make that phone call to say, hey, Joe, I got a job open. I don't know what position it's going to be, but I want you to join my defensive staff. And Joe Woodley, who's been at Grandview for so long, then 1 year at Drake, you have a decision to make. And you go, well, if I want to be a Division I head coach, if I want to start moving up that ladder, is this the next best move for me? I do know this. Joe Woodley knows a lot of people. Joe's been on this show several times. Joe has a very good sounding board when it comes to people to ask for advice. We're talking his dad. We're talking people that he played with at Iowa State, coached with from Iowa State. Dan McCarney would be one of those people that he would use as a sounding board to say, hey, is this the right move for me?
Good. Remember, and his brother is on the staff over at Wake Forest in some form or fashion. So Matt has been through this before with different Division I programs and professional programs. So got a lot of advice there. He's got a lot of really smart people that like him that are helping him navigate this. So no, I mean, am I surprised? There was a part of me that thought that maybe Joe would stay in Des Moines. I really did. He's got kids, got an amazing family. Maybe he'd stay here. This is also an awesome opportunity. And I know that some people are like, oh, it's Rutgers. It's Division I football. And the guy's got a chance to go do that and kind of prove his worth there. And by the way, coach with a friend that he, in Travis, that he's had for a decade or more. Loved coaching with. I know that for a fact. And now he gets to go back and do that and try this new adventure. By the way, tough challenge.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it. I look at this as a high risk, high reward move. Now, there have to be some kind of guarantees of, hey, I'm going to make this move. You giving me a 2-year, a 3-year contract? What kind of guaranteed money? Because Greg Schiano's got to be close to being on the hot seat. I mean, he hasn't had the success in the second round of his Rutgers stint as he had in the first. Remember, they were a 10-win season his first time around. That's why he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He spent some time in the professional ranks. I think he was at Ohio State for a little bit, went back to Rutgers to be the head coach. They haven't had the success. Also, you brought it up a couple weeks ago, and that was the financial situation of Rutgers. Rutgers is a poorly run athletic department. And there's a lot of things that go into that. The Big Ten wanted to have the New York media market. Totally understand it and get it. But Rutgers has not enjoyed the financial windfall like many other schools in the Big Ten have. And what'd you say, $500 million in debt since they joined the Big Ten Conference.
Losing 70 billion or 70 million
a year or something like that.
100 million a year. I'll look at that up again. Yeah,
so you look at the risk is you go to an unstable, underfunded athletic department that's running in the red, and a coach that could presumably be on the hot seat. Yes, you're going to go work with your friend Travis Johansson, but Greg Schiano's the head coach, and coaching staffs are tied to the head coaches. So if the head coaches go, normally the entire coaching staff will go if he gets fired. The reward is Travis Johansson has a lot of success in turning around the Scarlet Knight defense. He gets a head coaching job somewhere, takes Joe with him, And then Joe becomes a defensive coordinator or something like that on that next staff. And then he's able to move up the ranks and possibly become a Division I head coach. High risk, high reward. But you do reach a point, and I'm a little bit older than Joe, not much. But you do reach a point in your life where you're like, if I don't take the plunge now, I'll never know. You don't want to live with regret, right? And that is what else is out there. And so I understand it. New Jersey's a different place. It's not Des Moines. He would always call us when he was just dropped his daughter off at school. You know, those opportunities may not be there anymore, but you know, I would at first glance, I was like, well, this is weird. You're not going to be the defensive coordinator. You're going to Rutgers. When I started putting the Travis Johansson thing together, it made sense. But it's still one of those, okay, I get it. Don't like it, but don't get it.
But love Joe. I love Coach Woodley, love his family, and wish him the best for him. I'm really happy for him. That's my text to him yesterday was just one of excitement, and really happy that I hope this is a dream come true for him, and that it works out awesome. What you just laid out there, Travis, I would love for that to be the case. Love. If whatever he wants, man, if that's what it is for Travis to be a head coach and maybe Joe to be a defensive coordinator at that level, I wish them the best of success, and I hope that they absolutely kill it.
Yeah, and I think the Curt Cignetti story is motivating a lot of people. I think people know, hey, there's some really good coaches at these lower levels that can do amazing things. Greg Schiano goes and gets Travis Johansson from South Dakota. You go, okay, let's look at this guy's career track. From Grandview to South Dakota, there's something there. You look at Joe Woodley, who went 72-5, never lost a regular season game at Grandview, goes to Drake in year number 1, goes 8-4, qualifies for the FCS playoffs. You go, there's really good coaches at this level. Cignetti kind of went that same thing. He was, on the Alabama staff, takes the Elon job, I think it was, something like that.
James Madison.
Yeah. And build something up. So a lot of times, Ross, whether it's fair or not, the reason Curt Cignetti was probably able to get the Indiana job is that he was tied in some way to Nick Saban, right? In that, okay, you're coming from James Madison, but you're from the lineage of Nick Saban. And the only other guy I've seen move up the ranks, let's use Kalen DeBoer. He was the head coach at Sioux Falls, but he had to go be an offensive coordinator at a Division I school. Then he got the Fresno job. Then he got the Washington job. Then he gets the Alabama job. You have Lance Leipold, who was the offensive coordinator at Omaha. Went to Wisconsin Whitewater, where he won multiple national titles at Division III, and Buffalo took a chance on Lance Leipold. A lot of people question that, going, you're hiring a Division III guy for a Division I job? You can't do that. Well, he won at Buffalo, and he's gone to Kansas, and he's turned that program around. Has it happened as fast as he wants to? Probably not. They didn't have the season, but you can say that Kansas is in a much better situation today than it was before he arrived. So there's proof of concept out there. And Joe, who we know is a great head coach, if your ultimate goal is to be a Division I head coach, sometimes you just need to get your foot in the door on a Division I program. What is, Major League Baseball, Ross, is interesting. How many managers never played in the league? Not many, right? They want you to have that major league experience. There's probably been really qualified, managers out there, but never got a chance to play in the league and never got a chance. He didn't have Major League Baseball experience. So it all comes down to what your goal is. And if your goal is to be a head coach, what's your best path to do that? And Drake's a good job. It's not a great job. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but it's always going to be a stepping stone, because if you want to move up, recruiting to a non-scholarship program is not easy. And in today's day and age, when you're going against NIL, if you have decent players, they're probably going to get poached. They're really like, hey, this kid from Drake can play. Let's give him $100,000 and a full ride scholarship, it's going to be hard to hang on to those players, right? It's not easy. I do feel sorry. They just had high school signing day. They just signed all those players. Can you imagine to have to make that phone call? Hey, I appreciate you signing with Drake. I'm not going to be your head coach. I'm leaving. Like, what?
National Signing Day doesn't mean shit.
No, well, for Drake, it probably means more.
Yeah. When you're far down, you got to. But even then, Travis, you've still got to wait for pieces to fall. I mean, yeah, it's important. I just, in the grand scheme of all this stuff, this thing of like, oh no, a kid made a decision on February 9th about where he's going to go this fall, and now everything changed around him. Yeah, the kid gets to change his mind.
Yeah, he gets to change his mind, but it also leaves Drake in a very tough position because when your head coach leaves,
I totally understand that. I'm just saying the timing, like the thing of like, oh man, and yesterday was National Signing Day. Yep, it was. You're right, and for Drake, you got to have a lot of pieces fall before you can start to pick this stuff up.
Yeah,
guarantee you, this is a busy time for Brian Harden.
Oh man,
poor guy's got to keep that list sharp, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Drake becoming a one and done for successful coaches here, with McCollum and Woodley now.
Do you go if you're Brian Harden? Do you do a search or do you go, hey, Kyle Kempt, are you ready to be a head coach? You didn't have a lot of coaching experience. He was kind of going to move up the ranks.
Yeah, you've been around it. Can you?
Does Adam Cox, the defensive coordinator, do you go over to Grandview? Do you grab EJ Peterson to be the head coach? No, I mean, you got to start throwing this stuff out there, right? I mean, he's got to go find a head coach.
And EJ did a great job, obviously. EJ's a great coach. Plumber's like, shut the. Trav, what do you think? You're way better.
When it comes to
did a really good job in that first year, it depends on what Brian's looking for. Is he looking for stability? Is he looking for his next coach, Todd Stepsis, who can be there for a couple of years and kind of give a little bit of stability and then build? I mean, I don't know.
Todd Stepsis is going to join us at 7:00. I'm going to flat out ask him, how good of a job is the Drake job? I don't expect him to say anything bad, but
right.
I think
question.
Yeah, is that one of those jobs that once you start having success, you've got to get out, or you're just going to be stuck there. And it's a good job, but it's a hard job. It is a hard job.
What you just said there, Travis, is not a knock on Drake at all. I mean, it is the position they're in as a non-scholarship football team. What a hard job for our buddy Brian Harden. What a hard job to find the guys like the Nico Medveds, Darren DeVries, Ben McCollum, Todd Stepsis, Joe Woodley's that are in a position where they'll even take a job like Drake, have success, and then
Squish the Fish gave us $5. Thank you so much, Squish. But he also asked a question. Is it really Cignetti or NIL why Indiana became great out of nowhere? Yes, both.
Yes.
Yes is the answer to that.
The money is important. It's like in baseball. Do the Yankees have an advantage because they have all that money? Yeah, they do. Do they win the World Series every year because they have the money? No. The Dodgers have more money. Baseball might be the bad example because the Dodgers just buying everything, right? It's the people too. I really am a firm believer in that. The money is a big help. Curt Cignetti won a national title with guys that started playing at James Madison. It's not just the money. You've got to be able to find the talent, develop the talent, coach the talent into a cohesive direction, and then beat everybody else who's trying to do the same thing. The money helps. The people are look at we could do this all day. There's money at a lot of schools.
Always has been.
There's money at a lot of schools. Only one gets to win, and it's going to be the team that figures out the people thing the best. And this year it was at Indiana. Right now it's Indiana. So the money helps, but Travis's answer is right. Is it A or B? Yes. It's A1 and A2.
Yeah, you could put Ross and I as head coaches and all the money in the world and recruit the best players in the world, and we'd probably lose because we wouldn't know how to coach.
We wouldn't make it to week 2. We'd get fired at halftime.
I mean, how many NBA teams have we seen that have had loaded rosters that didn't win a world title?
You can't get the egos to go together, the wrong guy. Then you bring in some limp-wristed coach who can't manage anything, and he's a player's coach, and then he can't. They walk over him. That'd be me. We like playing for Ross. Why? Because we can tell him what to do.
You know, a lot of chatter online yesterday, Ross, about Brian Harden, who, again, we reached out to, didn't hear back from. And that was, you know, a lot of people saying, hey, Brian needs to get out too. Meaning he's done such a good job at Drake. And listen, he's got a track record of hiring really good coaches. And from Ben McCollum, I think Hendo's doing a decent job in year one. I think that will still play out. The resources he was able to get Darren DeVries and hold on to Darren DeVries for as long as he did, to Todd Stepsis, to Joe Woodley, and a lot of people are like, Brian needs to leave too. Well, again, it's all about I don't know what Brian's goals are. Everybody has different goals. Everybody has different wants. Some people are happy right where they're at. Do I think Brian would be a good athletic director at a Division I school with more resources, more money? I do, but I don't know. I can't speak for him and say this is what you should do. Some people go, you know what? I'm pretty content right where I'm at. I'm happy. As long as I'm happy and what your priorities are. We know that Brian's close with his kids and is involved with his kids. I mean, people value different things. People don't always value money. We think they do, but it's not always the number one thing, or the opportunity and the prestige that goes with it.
It's a relative thing, man.
It really, really, really is.
I've seen people walk away from checks that would have changed my life. Say, nope, I don't like the feeling of this anymore. Let's walk away. Okay. Buck Wild Hawkeye said, hey, Hawkeye fans, you need to realize the money wasn't there the first year Cignetti was. He didn't have Cube's NIL money that first year. Yeah, but when it showed up, he was able to outbid the Hawkeyes for a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yes, he was.
There's both. It's the people. I've said that for a long time. The money does help. And when you get the money, you're able to get in all the guys that you've evaluated the correct way. So there's a yin and yang, or A and B. I don't know.
Hey, if you're looking for a lunch spot today, tomorrow, or anytime, or even dinner, start thinking juicy burgers, crispy wings, nachos, bacon-wrapped tater tots, all paired with one of the largest craft beer selections west of the Mississippi. We're talking about El Bait Shop, a craft beer lover's paradise with around 250 beers on tap, plus cans and bottles from around the world. Perfect for long lunches, after-work meetups, or dinner with friends and a flight of brews that hit the spot. So grab your crew, grab a pint, and make your next lunch or dinner stop one to remember. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd in downtown Des Moines. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search the Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. With Valentine's Day around the corner, if you're struggling to find the perfect way to show your Mini that you still care, please stop in so we can give it a look over and make sure that it's up to date on its preventative maintenance and repair. Please give us a call or schedule your appointment online at miniofdesmoines.com.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
When you're in the market for a new home, you're going to need a loan, and that's where you call Gary Presnell, a mortgage banker with Northwest Bank, financing residential homes the past 25 years. Gary offers VA, FHA, and IFA first-time buyer loans, and conventional and new construction loans, and all approvals are done locally by Northwest Bank. And Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less. It can happen after hours on weekends. Gary's been the state of Iowa's top producing mortgage banker the past 8 years. Give him a call today to start your buying purchase at 515-975-6767. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Todd Steps is going to be joining us at 7 o'clock. Rick Heller, head baseball coach at the University of Iowa, at 7:30. Ross, down goes number one. Arizona goes to Kansas last night, loses to the Jayhawks 82-78, the first loss for Arizona of the season. In fact, the first loss since like March of last year when they got beat in the Sweet 16. And if you don't think there's a home court advantage, Fog Allen was incredible last night. I mean, absolutely incredible. But what makes the win even more impressive, Darren Peterson, the projected number one pick in the NBA draft, did not play for Kansas last night. And here's another stat I want to throw at you. Kansas beat a number one team last night, did not have a 20-point score. The first time a number one team has been beaten without the opposing team having a 20-point score in 30 years. You have to go back 30 years to find a number one team that was beaten and didn't give up 20 points or more to an individual player. So Kansas doing Kansas things, and Fog Allen, as Bill Self pointed out last night, was the difference maker in the upset. And so the number one team, which was unanimous yesterday in the poll, down.
I didn't get to see this at all last night, Travis. Just saw the box score pop in and saw that Peterson wasn't playing. That's pretty incredible. You know, you got to remember it's Kansas. It's a group of the best high school basketball players recruited together by one of the best coaches. And then when you take away that guy that's going to be the projected number one pick in the NBA draft, there is the addition by subtraction because every dude on that roster can fill it up. Did they storm the court, Trav?
No.
Oh, okay.
They did not. Peterson's an interesting cat, right? He has missed a lot of games this year. And there's been some speculation that The parents don't want him to play. The agent has kind of held him out. Bill Self said he had flu-like symptoms, thought the adrenaline would kick in last night. He went through warm-ups but didn't play. And he's missed a lot of games this year. You had NBA scouts that flew in specifically for last night's game. And they didn't find out until 10 minutes before the game that Darren Peterson wasn't going to play. Do you think this hurt the number of games he's missed puts a little thing in the back of the brain going, do we want to take this guy number one?
It's got to put a little thing in the back of the brain.
I would think so too. But he's so good.
There's got to put a little thing in the back of the brain. But Travis, these NBA teams are guilty of it. I mean, I can't. This is going to sound really weird. I don't want to fault the kid. I can't fault the kid. Now there is okay. Let me think about this out loud, okay? Because maybe as I'm saying that, yes, I can. He's getting paid just like he's a professional basketball player. You're getting paid just like that. If this were the old days, I would say, what would this kid risk? You're the number one pick in the NBA draft. You're going to be a millionaire. No. You are a millionaire. You are getting paid healthily. You're getting paid well.
Handsomely. You're getting paid handsomely.
Handsomely. All the things. It's good looking. That check is good looking. You ain't donating plasma today. You got to go out and play against the number one team in the country. Yeah. Got the black lung, Pop. Does it hurt his status? Like, does it put a little thing in the back of your brain if you're an NBA team?
It would have to.
It has to. Look at Zion. Has Zion been, when he's out there, he's unbelievable. When he's out there. And if you got a guy that, again, I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine. Boy, Trav, I get confused a lot on this stuff. What I was going to say was, I imagine these NBA teams know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't.
No,
they don't.
No,
we've learned that. Deshaun Watson. We did our own investigation into what's going on here with Peterson, and we know that once he plays for Team X, once we put him in a Clippers jersey, you think he's not going to want to play?
Well, Irish Hawkeye may have summed it up the best. Hey, he's just showing NBA scouts that he already knows how to do load management.
That was one of my first my first thoughts. Irish was like, well, wait, these NBA teams have to look at it and go, all right, he's got this system down. Don't have to play every night, just have to play on the important nights. But wait a minute, this was an important night.
Very important night.
This is a moment to show how you perform against the best competition in the world. Did you cultivate the schedule? Did you go, okay, I don't want to look bad against I don't want to look bad. I'm the number one pick in the draft. I can't look bad. So I'm just going to play against some of the other teams.
And deep down, you want to give the kid
Iowa State, didn't he? How did he do against Iowa State? I don't remember.
I forget.
Being great. I'm going to go back and look at it here.
And, you do want to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. But when you've missed so much and then the rumor mill starts popping, well, mom and dad don't want you to play. The agent doesn't want you to play. It starts sticking in the back of your brain and go, is there some truth to this? And then can you imagine ESPN last night? You've got number 1 Arizona against Kansas, which is now number 9. Early in the year, they were out of the top 25. I mean, and they're projected. You're talking about a team that was out of the top 25, a month and a half ago, and now it's projected to be they're projected to be a 3 seed in the latest one, but they could easily play their way up to a number 2 seed. And you're getting ready to go on national television. You're like, hey, Darren Peterson's not going to play tonight. I can just imagine, like, what? This is like the biggest game of the year on Big Monday. This is what they've been waiting for, the countdown to Arizona, Kansas.
Against Iowa State, he had 16 points in 27 minutes. He was 6 of 15 from the field and 2 of 7 from three-point range. Didn't have a great game that night. Kansas did beat Iowa State by 21 that night. That game's, that's the next game. That's That game's Valentine's Day.
At Hilton.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't mean to change the subject on you. Do you know what day the Super Bowl is next year?
No.
Valentine's Day.
Oh. They're playing the Super Bowl on February 14th.
2027. Prepare yourselves now. Remember when John Gruden was like, we should move this thing, or not? Yeah, one of the NFL guys was like, we got to move this thing up. Got to move this thing up. The Super Bowl's on Valentine's Day next year. Boy, that made Audrey's day. She's excited about that. Yeah, Super Bowl's on Valentine's Day 2027. Anyway.
God, that from college ball to the end, it just seems to get longer and longer and longer, these seasons. You know, I'm watching Unsportsmanlike on ESPN today. I like that show. And all they're doing is breaking down quarterbacks. I'm like, the season just ended. Could you take a break for the National Football League? No, you can't. It's 24/7, 365. That's why I'm kind of glad we don't have a professional team. Because you would just be stuck talking about it all the time. We talk a lot of college football on here, but man, it's not 24/7. Not 365.
I'm sorry I diverted there because I really
it's fine.
Kansas at Iowa State going to be a dynamic matchup this weekend. That's going to be a really, really fun game. Hopefully Peterson's there.
Yeah, because when you're an Iowa State fan, you want to beat Kansas, but you also want to see the best players. You want to go see, hey, this guy is going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft. You want to see, A, can you shut him down? But two, a part of you kind of wants him to go off too and still win the game because you want to see that amazing play. And when you beat somebody, you want to say, hey, I beat them with their best players on the court.
I just had a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
What if it's Bill Self that's keeping him out?
Could be.
What if the idea is they can't punish me for losing to Arizona if I don't have the number one pick in the draft? They'll have to look back on. And I'm not saying I'm again.
Or they can't punish me, or I'm going to look like a really good coach if we win this game.
Right. And if
he is a really good coach, by the way.
Yeah, right. It's like you're trying to trick the system into making him think he's a good coach. But I don't like it. I don't like the load management thing. I don't like the 10 minutes before the game. I don't like it for the fans that went to that game anticipating to see the number one team in the country play against the number one player in the country.
And to be fair, the flu is going around. They said he had flu-like symptoms.
And it's very possible. It's a load. This is becoming something. And, when several people are pointing it out, like, man, and then when the easiest joke, the first thing went through my head, the same thing went through Irish Hawkeye, which is like, it's just the NBA system. This is what you do in basketball. You don't play every game in basketball. You expect these guys to run up and down the court and handle the ball every game? No, you haven't paid enough attention to Anthony Davis and Zion. You're not paying attention to the league. Is you do this thing called load management. These games don't matter. I have the same impression that a lot of people do, that flu-like symptoms. Buck up. Buck up. You are getting paid to do this thing. It's not anyway. You're right. He's a kid. He needs mental health day probably.
And if this was a 1 or 2 time thing, you wouldn't have as much suspicion. But when you've missed as many games as he has, that's when you start going, okay. I mean, the biggest question now is, what's the availability for Darren Peterson going into the game? You're probably going to have it on Saturday when they play Iowa State. Is Darren Peterson going to play? It's almost every headline around Kansas is, the health of Darren Peterson. And if you're an NBA scout and you flew into to Lawrence, Kansas last night expecting to see him play, I mean, you've got a lot of potential suitors right there that are going to pay you a lot of money, man. A lot of money.
But he's already there.
True.
He's already there. So like, There's a part of me that says, why risk it?
But do you want to be the number one pick? You're going to be a lottery pick. There's no doubt about it.
The NBA team should look at it and go, are you a competitor?
Bingo.
We get that you got all the athletic ability. Do you have that drive and that fire and that want to be the best? Because we see what happens when you've got all the ability, but you don't got the fire. And that's called Zion.
It's funny that you say that because I've told this story before, and I'll just give a refresher. When I asked a college football coach, what's the number one thing you look for? Is it athletic ability? Is it size? Is it speed? What is it? He goes, first thing we look at is how competitive are you? How competitive are you? Like, let's use Kluver, for example. Kluver's a walk-on, right?
Just a walk-on.
No, but I think the reason he was able to have the success at Iowa that he has, he's an uber competitive.
Yes, good way to put it.
Yes. It was like, okay, I'm undersized. I know that I don't have all the physical attributes that some of these other guys have, but I'm going to outwork your ass every single time in the weight room. Everywhere I go, I'm going to outwork you because this is what I'm going to find where my niche is. I'm going to be sure I'm a long snapper, but I'm going to outwork whoever that is.
Damn long snapper on the
right. And the truth is, most coaches would take the competitiveness of a Tyler Kluver on the majority of their players.
Yes, yeah. This is why when we talk to Coach Stepsis and he talks about recruiting guys that are multiple sport athletes.
Yeah.
I want to see a guy that knows how to compete. We've had those conversations with Nick Mitchell, former wrestling coach at Grandview. What are you looking for? I'm looking for competitors. Looking for guys that constantly want to be in the arena. So, and maybe not fair for us to...
No, I think it's a very fair question to say, are you a competitor? We know that you can single-handedly take over a game, but can you do it night in and night out? Do you have the Michael Jordan drive? And I know that's a high bar.
But that's the question. That's the bar. Ian wrote this in. It's his handlers. This is the third time he has had to miss for, quote, ill-related symptoms. Several cramping issues. It's all his handlers speaking with the KU athletic department.
You know, I was listening to Joe Rogan and Bert Kreischer on the way home last night. It was a good podcast. And they got into the competitiveness thing. And just Bert talked about what drove him, right? Like his first stadium tour, like I did it just because nobody would put me in an arena show. Like, nobody ever asked me to be like, an opening act. They just ignore me. So he goes, screw it, I'm going to do my own. And they asked me, and he goes, somebody asked me, why'd you do this? He goes, because nobody else would ask me. So he was driven internally.
Yeah.
And everybody has different fights, different things that motivate him. But he just, and I know that's a comedy thing, but it's like, it's no different for any other competitor out there.
I did hear part of that interview where Joe Rogan's like, Bert, I got a weird text message the other day. You were on the Shannon Sharp podcast, and I got a text message from Eddie Bravo, and it said, did Bert Kreischer lose everything and then get it all back? And I said, no. He's like, we got to go listen to the Shannon Sharp podcast because Shannon Sharp says, Bert, you lost it all, and then you had to rebuild it all and win it all back. What was that like? And Bert just goes with it, and he's like, I just went with it. It's not true. It never was true. I don't know where he got that. But Shannon Sharp asked him with such conviction, hey, you lost all of your money, and then you got it all back. What was that like? And Bert Kreischer, he said it with such conviction. Bert Kreischer said, I had this thought in my head of, I did?
You need to go back and watch the Shannon Sharp interview with Bert, because when he asked a question, you see Bert's face going,
I saw the clip. He does. He's like, I lost it all? And then you got it all back. What was that like? Did you believe in yourself in that moment? And Bert Kreischer goes, yeah.
I think that shows you how nice Bert is. I mean, Bert's one of those guys. I mean, he's on the old day, he did our show, and it's probably one of those guys like, I could really embarrass this guy right now, but I'm not going to do it. Because
what if you did that with it? What if you intentionally got something wrong in an interview just to see if the guy would correct you? Coach Stepsis, you were fired from 3 previous head coaching positions before you landed at Drake University. What was it like when Brian Harden called you and gave you that last lifeline? I had what?
Ross Peterson, you've had quite the journey. The first time you stepped away from iHeart, you had regrets and you decided to come back. The second time you stepped away, you had a plan to launch your own radio show.
No, I got kicked out the nest, dude. No, huh? You're looking at the wrong page. That's the wrong Ross Peterson from Des Moines. I'm the other one.
And that's what Bert said. He's like, he's got all these producers, and he asks, and Shannon uses these note cards to ask his questions. So all he did was start asking questions from note cards and didn't do his own homework and didn't understand the story of Bert Kreischer.
Somebody had screwed up something along the way.
But that is funny. He's like, yep, I just rolled with it. I lost everything. And Joe's like, you didn't lose anything, man.
Can we do we only got a couple minutes here before we got to get serious, right? Because we got Coach
we
up here. We're gonna ask some nonsense.
A couple things.
Make shit up with him.
A couple things. Iowa State is in action tonight. They are at TCU. They're a 6.5-point favorite. TCU's lost 2 of its last 3 games. Iowa State, of course, we're riding a 5-game winning streak. But this feels like one of those trap games, Ross. I know that sounds crazy. TCU, it's not a great team. It's not a bad team. But you go on the road and you've got Kansas coming up, right? And you want to believe that one game at a time thing. You want to believe that's what they're going to do. But it almost feels like one of those trap games. I'm not saying Iowa State's going to lose tonight. I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, okay.
I do.
I can see the thing of you got Kansas coming up. They're playing well. I don't think that's the case, though. I think that with TJ's got this team so focused on themselves. I want to believe that he's got this team so focused on themselves and what they need to do to get to where they want to be that you just don't look ahead like that at all. They beat TCU by 15 tonight.
And the other big story is, and we could spend a lot of time on this. We won't have much time, but Charles Bediako went to court yesterday. The Alabama judge said, son, you're not eligible. And so he got to play in 5 games for Alabama. He averaged 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block a game during that. But, Charlie Baker from the NCAA said common sense won today. And I don't disagree with that statement. Nate Oates, who's the head coach at Alabama, says he was disappointed because all I want is consistency. And he's not. 2 things can be true at the same time. Is that common sense won yesterday? You shouldn't have professional players that played in the NBA and signed those 2-way contracts playing. But you have to look at it. Now you have to look at G League players. Do these European international players that make decent money in Europe, are they professionals? But the Bediako story was probably more unique than any. I'm not in favor of the G League guys. I'm not.
And don't let Nate Oates lie to us. And this is pee on you and tell you that it's raining.
Yeah.
Nate Oates says he just wants consistency. Nate Oates, you're the one who did this. Don't play dumb.
Did he do it, or did it start with Louisville?
Come on.
No. Hear me out. Did it start with the G League players? And he goes, okay, let's see how far we can take. If they can do it, let's see how far we can take.
There you go. But you just hit the crux of the argument here. At some point, Nate Oates decided to jump into the fray. At some point, Nate Oates decided, they want to change the rules. Let's change the rules. And then he goes, all I'm asking for is consistency. You're the asshole who widened the loophole. A kid going to Santa Clara didn't mean the same thing as you bringing back Charles Bediako going for 30 points a night for a top-ranked team. That you changed it, dude. You were the agent of change, and now you stand up and go, we could just get some consistency inside these walls. There's a lot of blame to go around here. A lot of blame. NCAA is primary, and I agree with that. They have not been consistent. They are the ones that Can't figure it out. Then you
got muddied the waters.
And you got judges jumping in, trying to impact it. You know why? Because it got too much Bama in them. But for Nate Oates, that's ridiculous. Man, coaches they sometimes act like they are way above the fray. You know what I mean? How does he not think that people are going to look at this and go, "No, coach, you're part of the problem here. You don't get to throw paint on the wall and then go, look at this mess that people are making. Unbelievable." That's what he's doing here.
But I think most fans, and I fall into this, that I do want consistency. I want true rules when it comes around eligibility. I mean, so and you can be right in your in what your assessment of Nate Oates is. Not disagreeing with you, but I think it could be true that fans in general and even the NCAA wants consistency around it.
Travis, I agree with all of that. Nate Oates he has been the agent of change, and then he does exactly what Burger McChick is writing here. Plays the victim. I'm not to blame here. I'm just doing the thing. I just want consistency. We've had consistency for 100 years. You knew you couldn't bring a guy from the professional leagues down. You didn't have to play this. And then he plays dumb too of like I had to play him. Once they put him on my roster, I didn't have any control. A judge put this kid on my college basketball roster. As a college basketball coach, head coach, I don't even get any control. I had to play him. That's what Nate Oates is saying. And people are buying it and repeating it and going, Nate Oates just wants consistency. Bullshit.
I do like what the judge said yesterday, and that is missed NIL opportunities is not a reason you get to come back and play college ball. That's
exactly right.
And he's not wrong there.
LeBron missed NIL opportunities.
Yeah.
And in a couple of years when he retires, he can still come play at Drake.
Hey, don't forget, on Friday, we have the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo, your chance to win a $90 prize pack. What type of winionaire will you be? A full tank of gas-ionaire or a front row tickets to every show-ionaire? The possibilities are what you make it when you become an Iowa Lottery winionaire. If you want to get an early jump on the Weekly Woohoo, go to therushradio.com, click the promo tab. You'll see Weekly Woohoo. Tell us what your woohoo is. And we've had people who've won the woohoo reported back say, hey, our tickets that we got, they were winners. They were winners.
We've had a couple of those. I've been a winner on the Iowa Lottery recently. Coach Peterson had a woohoo yesterday for closing on his house last week. Congratulations, Coach.
So, the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
I'm Steve Linger, Service Director here at Willis Nissan. February is here, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Love is in the air. It's time to give your car some love. Take advantage now until April 30th. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for $1. Go online today at willisnissan.com or give us a call to schedule your tire installation.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. And if you have some body damage on your car, check out Willis Chevrolet of Granger in the Collision Center. Immediate availability for collision repairs on most makes and models. They work with the most insurance providers and make the process so easy. Recently earned the iCar Gold Class certification. That's Willis Chevrolet of Granger and the Collision Center. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, leave your comments in the comment section, and, of course, follow us on our social media channels. Ross, I don't think we've talked to Todd Stepsis since Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving with the Stepsises. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I reached out to him yesterday because of some news happening in the Missouri Valley Conference Football League, and we had some, what?
Well, you said Stepsises. When we talk to Coach and his wife, or when you're talking to multiple member of the Stepsis family.
Is it Stepsises?
Stepsises. We're talking to the Stepsises?
I don't know. Look at that hair. God, he's got a good mop.
It's just gross how good looking the guy is. If I have multiple Farrens in a room, they are the Farrentai. If I have multiple Stepsises, says, what do you say your family name? You got to check letters there, dude.
Yeah, I had way too many. I agree. Yeah. I think you guys just whatever you think. I'm just as confused as you are. Too many S's. I think that's why a lot of people call me Coach Step, because there's too many S's in there. You know, so it's just knock off the second to do.
All right. How you been, man?
Good. Can't complain. Good to see you guys. Yeah, how you guys been?
We're doing wonderful.
Very good. Very good. Where you're in the airport? Where are you heading?
Yeah. You know, sometimes the job takes you far away. So Florida this time. So yeah, it sucks. I know. Yeah, just going down there and enjoying some warm weather. But usually this time of year we'll do just different trips to talk to friends of the program, alumni, things like that. So I'll be gone for a couple of days, missing my youngest daughter's birthday, which kind of stinks, but we'll make up for it over the weekend.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so this is not a recruiting, or is that part of what?
It's a fundraising trip, Ross.
It's a recruiting. It's a recruiting trip of different kinds. Yes, it's we're not necessarily looking for the on the field talent, but the people that can help us, find the on the field talent for sure.
I like it, Coach. Okay.
So are you flying commercial or private?
Commercial. Oh. Yeah, we it'd be kind of cool to have a little private jet, but I think yeah, the boys down in Iowa City probably have a few of those at their disposal. But Ross, good shirt, by the way. Love it.
Yeah. No, it is. So
Yeah.
I play in the UNI basketball golf outing every year with my with one of our good friends here, and so it's Gary Presnell is the guy that very well connected at UNI, and he gets me on the golf outing every year.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Sorry, I'm not wearing any purple. I feel bad. I don't know if I have any purple in my wardrobe.
Well, see, that's on me. I need to get you some. So next time, we'll have to send you a little care package. You guys are. I like you guys better than John Gruden, so I'll make sure to send you guys a box.
That'd be awesome. I reached out to you yesterday because some news happened yesterday. And I know you don't probably like talking about other teams, but you're the only person I know to talk about this, and that is North Dakota State is planning to go up to FCS, get out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Did you find out yesterday, or did you kind of have some inkling? And what does this mean to the league, do you think?
Man, you saw rumblings, and you never know what you can believe anymore on the internet. I mean, I don't know how many times, somebody shows you something and I'm thinking, is that AI? Like, is that real? I don't really know. And so I think the last couple years, I think there's always been grumblings of them jumping up to the FBS, and then it kept gaining steam. Really, I think I saw the first report that looked official Friday, but usually if something like that happens, I'm going to get like an email from the conference commissioner or something like that, and nothing over the weekend, and then really Monday when we saw the announcement from, I think it was the Mountain West, that was, hey, they're joining us. That's really when it became real. And yeah, it's as a competitor, like one of our core values for our program is love, and we talk about love outrageously. And so one of those things is you love your competitors because the really good ones bring out the best in you. So you get bummed out, as a competitor, not having that team that's been so good for so long. But you blink and you look down the list in our conference, and there's, I think, 7 more that are ranked in the top 25, and so there's going to be plenty of competition still to face. But if my wife was sitting next to me, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, here's your hat. What's your hurry? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, get those guys out of here." So, but I think our league, it's still, like I said, there's so many good teams. It's so high caliber. And again, I think they're all in markets like ours. You think about the Cedar Valley, smaller communities that really care about their teams and in their campuses and their schools. That I think the conference can be just fine.
You made that jump from non-scholarship Drake up to UNI. This is a jump of kind of a different level here. Obviously, how do you think North Dakota State adjusts in this first year? Or how, I mean, because talent-wise, they've obviously got the talent to play with some of those teams out there day one.
Oh yeah. No, they. I think if they were going to make a jump, this league that they're getting in, I think makes the most sense from just like, I think they're pretty similar to, like, we played Wyoming this year, and playing up in Fargo and playing at Wyoming, very similar size, speed, physicality. I think I think there's some FBS conferences that they probably would have dominated right from the jump. I think, I don't know, like maybe Conference USA or the MAC or something like that. They don't look as nearly as good as some of these other teams. But I mean, obviously what was it? I read $17 million that they had to pay to just to start. So they have that kind of cash floating around. I'm sure they're going to have more to make sure that they're competitive, and they're competitive right away. I know their AD a little bit, we played him a couple times, when I was at Drake, and then, obviously this year and ran into him. He's a competitor. He wants to win, and they wouldn't have made this jump if they didn't think they could do so.
That's why you're going to Florida. You're going to try to find 17 million of your own. I do know this, and I'm aging myself. I remember when North Dakota State was in the North Central Conference Division II, and what's going to happen here is South Dakota State's going to get penis envy, and they're going to want to do the same thing. I'm not kidding. It seems like whatever North Dakota State does, South Dakota State wants to follow. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's I think the scare. I think a lot of people that they're kind of looking at both sides. Like, okay, so is this the first domino to fall? Are more people going to want to do it? Because really, you think about James Madison, Sam Houston's another one recently, Missouri State, just a couple of years ago. So like, are more people going to follow? Or like, are more people going to, hey, this is who we are. This is who we want to be. Let's be the best at what we are. And I know that's how we feel.
So, we got another subject to get to, but I want to ask you about your team, because I'd reached out to you. I knew a kid who was in the transfer portal. I said, hey, if you're looking for an offensive lineman, and you're like, hey, we're set. And then you just had high school. Are you happy with your first full recruiting class that you've been a part of?
Oh yeah. Actually when we got to you and I, back in December last year, we had the first, there's 2 signing days now. So the first one, that one was call them all up. They were still on board. But then we had that second signing day where we got, quite a few guys kind of similar to this year. So those guys combined with, these two signing classes that we had this year. And then, the 10 or so mid-year guys we brought in, extremely excited. A lot of talent, some state champs, some players of the year, the mid-year guys, I've been on record as far as like, okay, you really got to be careful with how many you take, and just because you have such a small window to get to know them. And so the guys that we took mid-year, we had a prior connection with every single one of them. So one of the running backs, one of our assistant coaches coached him in high school, and a defensive back played for my younger brother, in high school in Ohio. So like every single guy that we took, there was a connection that went years. And so we knew about them. And I think, where we're at the point of how we're building this thing is you want to make sure you have the right guys that you're going to add. And anytime you take a mid-year guy, especially this year, you had a 12, 14-day window to figure it out. And sometimes even shorter than that if you brought them in pretty quick. So, but overall, awesome class, great group of dudes, really good players too, great families. We're on the right path.
Would your brother be on your staff?
Oh yeah, I would love for him to be on my staff.
Would you?
He would be great. Yeah, but there's no shot. His wife rules the roost like my house, and there's no way.
You were what? What do you mean?
Oh no. She like they're really close to her family. So he lives in Cleveland, coaches high school ball out there.
Okay.
And real close to where she grew up, and they're pretty happy and set. He's got
the only way he's
boys.
ever on the staff is if you leave us and end up in the Cleveland area, huh?
Yeah, I think he might do that. But I don't know. I just maybe when his boys get a little bit older, maybe out of the house, maybe she would loosen the reins on him a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm the youngest in my family. My older brother would never work for me. He'd make me work for him, but I would never be able to. He wouldn't be able to work for me.
Good stuff.
Coach, this happened late yesterday, and I know you're fond of Drake. I mean, that's where you led them. Joe Woodley took over for you, and it came out yesterday that he's going to go to Rutgers to be a defensive assistant. Were you surprised by that? 2-part question. Were you surprised by that? And 2, is Drake a good job?
Yeah, I guess number one, how I'm wired, a little bit surprised. I think anytime you're only there for a year and then you're bouncing, that's just not my philosophy. I've been very fortunate to be at places where we've had great people that we've worked for, had the opportunity to win, and so you kind of treat it like it's the last job you're ever going to have, and so. Yeah, a little bit surprised, but at the same time, it sounds like a great opportunity to coach in the Big Ten. It's kind of a trend that we're seeing now. So, like, the South Dakota coach left after a year, and now he's going to be an assistant at a bigger school. The Montana coach, that's another great program in our division. He's an alum of Montana, had been there in 2 stints, had done a great job, seemed like he was going to retire there. Well, now I think I saw is going to be an assistant at Illinois. And so, a little surprised, but like at the same time, unfortunately, there's situations that are, they're hard to turn down, but I do believe it's a great job. I think, number one, the community of Des Moines, I hadn't been to Iowa, ever in my life until 2014 when I got there. And there's a reason why we've stayed in the state. It's become home to us. So I think Des Moines is a great community. I think the school is a fantastic school that, again, I'm about having the best experience, for our players, providing that. So, when they look back, they do it all over again. But at the same time, like who they can become, while they're part of the program, it's a place that you can develop some champions, just like here up in Cedar Falls.
Yeah, I would say it's a good job, but it's a hard job, right? And meaning, the fact that you're able to offer scholarships now where you're at is a game changer. I mean, there's just it's a stepping stone job, I guess the way to look at it.
Yeah, it's just they're definitely. I mean, like everywhere. I mean, there's always things you have to handle, that are difficult parts of a job. But that one's tough. I mean, you have to really do. You got to recruit nationwide. You got to find the right families that are, they see what the education can give them, and then to be willing to pay for that too is a tough ask. And then I mean, just the school in general, being a private school, it is expensive, but then also just resources wise, you got to do a lot with a little, and then when you look at just the landscape of the conference, I mean, you're coast to coast. There's a ton of cost as far as traveling is concerned, and then to provide that great experience is it is definitely a challenge.
Well, we're sorry we asked you a lot of questions about other programs and other people today, but you can provide a lot of good insight, and we appreciate that. I know you're going to have fun in Florida. I hope you raise millions of dollars, and it supplements that athletic department budget. But have fun in Florida. Are you going with like the whole administration? Is it like is athletic director going down, everything like that?
So I was down in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and there were some athletics people there. This time, I think I might be the only one. I think I'm the only athletics representative, and then it's the foundation office and a lot of people there too. So,
all right,
yeah.
enjoy the weather, have fun, travel safe. Hope you're flying back on a private jet.
That'll be the goal. Yeah, I'll know I've done a good job if I can just jump on this private plane of somebody that I met. It'd be awesome.
All right, let's hook up right around spring football time. We can talk about how spring practice is going.
Oh yeah, love to. Good seeing you guys.
Soon, Coach.
All right, tell your Wi-Fi too.
Oh yeah, we will. Yep, sounds
all
good.
right. See you later.
Weird when you say it that way.
I didn't
tell your wife I said I do.
See now.
Why
do you got to make me sound creepy every time I talk?
Just how I hear you talk.
Man, you think the worst of me all the time. I say something innocent, his wife was on with this thing. So you say, hey, tell your Wi-Fi. I feel like, she's part of the show. God, you sound creepy when you say
I just heard it as tell your wife I said hi. And then in my head.
Now, I was going to say, you're hearing voices in your head. I'm just saying.
Eyebrows are going up, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I look over, and you're not doing any of that. But it's all in my head.
You're a piece of work. No wonder people think so little of me, is that you paint this picture of me that's just not true. You paint the picture.
Why do people think so poorly of you? Mostly because of how my friend talks about me.
No, don't get me wrong. I've helped you paint that picture, but that instance just wasn't one of those cases.
I am glad, and Sean alludes to this. I am glad because I had this fear. What did you? Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you bet. Here, I had this fear that you were going to ask Coach Steps this. Hey, Coach, you and the wife got a song that you like to bang to?
Oh, I should have. I should have. Not in that way, but
you and the wife got a song. How about you and an ex, Coach?
Ooga chugga, ooga chugga.
You've been.
Somebody asked. We should ask him if he's ever heard the song "Thunder." I emailed Mitch yesterday, our winner. I haven't heard back from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I've still got the list. We've got our.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to text him today and say, "Hey, did you get my email? Because if not, we're going to have to draw a different winner."
Oh boy. I know who our second. I think Brian would be our second winner.
That's Thunderstruck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll reach out to Mitch today and say, hey, did you get my email? Because you won the Fiscus bling, the earrings. Bennett Sturts, your co-Big Ten Player of the Week, Ross. In the last 3 games, he scored 90 points. Last week, he averaged 29 points, 3.5 assists, 1.5 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game. Second week in a row that he's won the Big Ten honor. First time that's happened for an Iowa player since 2022. The 90 points in 3 games, the most since Murray in, I think his last year, he scored 91 in 3 points in 3 games. Just a model of consistency, well on his way to being a first-team All-Big Ten player. I'd be shocked if he wasn't first-team All-Big Ten.
Travis, I'm telling you, he's climbing his way into being – this sounded crazy when my friend first said it. I thought he was trolling the Iowa State fans in the group. When our buddy Jeff Klein wrote and said, man, he's really solidifying himself as a lottery pick. I was like, oh, Klein's really trolling today. Look, he's going to get the reaction. And he didn't get a reaction from our Iowa State friend who follows the NBA. So I reached out directly to the Iowa State friend. I said, hey, Bennett Sturts, lottery pick? And he said, yep, Google it. NBA mock draft. At that point, he was 13th, which isn't quite a lottery, but it's a lottery. Top 8.
Top 8, is it?
But he is, Travis, he has played better and better and better. That was 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago when I Googled that. And he has played fantastic against good competition and just continues to deliver and exceed those expectations. The only thing that I fear as a Hawkeye fan is it's one guy carrying a lot of water. It's one guy doing a lot of work on that box score, man. He's doing the majority of the weightlifting there when you look at that box score. And that's okay until it's not.
Well, I mean, let's look at the winning streak, right? They've won, 6 in a row. And in that 6-game winning streak, he's had to be over the 20-point mark. When they lost those, he wasn't hitting the 20-point mark. He's been over 20 points in each of those wins.
Yeah. Just again, whether it's you face a Torre who's able to shut him down, you face an injury of some type, you get in foul trouble early. And I'm not saying that we've seen that the team does have some guys that can do that can show up and you want it to be a little bit more consistent. It's great to have this sort of talent and I'm excited to see what happens, and I hope that he continues to play well and plays himself up into that lottery position.
Here's what I don't... Berger, I know what you're saying, but we got to stop doing this. Tournament will tell. Well, come on. He played in the tournament last year and got Drake to the round of 32. There's a lot of other factors that go into wins and losses. And why do we keep doing... And I'm guilty of it, and you're like, well, wait and see here. Then you hit the milestone. Well, what's wait and see here? Well, they don't have enough quad 1 wins. Well, all they're doing is winning and producing. What more do you need to see? Is that fair to say? Well, the tournament will tell.
I mean, I think you hit it on the head there, Travis. We are guilty of it too, because you go, well, that's where he's going to play the best competition, and that's where the lights are the brightest. I think it's also fair to say he's done it. That was fair when he came from Mo State to Drake, and we went, oh, now he's going to have to play in the Valley. Now he's going to have to play in the Big Ten. How's he going to handle that Big Ten? And even
we keep moving the goalposts because we don't want to believe it.
Man, round of 32, he has to play against Texas Tech. Good luck out. Oh, he can do that too. Yeah, I think your take on this is the right one. He's proven it, and this is why he's climbing his way up. I'm going to look at the NBA.
And by the way, what you're doing right now means it's not wait until the tournament, because if there's NBA scouts out there who are already going, oh, he's going to be in the top 15 of the first round, that's all the proof you need. It doesn't matter if he has a bad game in the NCAA tournament. You don't get to go, well, see, we told you he wasn't that good. Because if the NBA teams, they're not going to hit it, a home run every time they make a draft pick, but they put a lot of work and effort in to study their players to use a first-round draft pick. And I think if he's in that list, he's proven to enough people he's good enough.
I just, the latest one I could find, just updated a few hours ago, was from BleacherNation.com. It's the NBA mock draft, and it's got him going 15th to the Memphis Grizzlies via the Orlando Magic.
15th. And hell, if he continues to produce like he's been producing, that may go up. Somebody might go, you know what? He's a competitor. And not only is he a competitor, if you got the skill to do it.
Somebody wrote, wait till he finds out about load management. This is a kid that plays every game for 39 minutes a game. So if the NBA teams are looking at that and going, man, Darren Peterson doesn't show up. But there's this kid that plays different.
But that's a good comparison, Ross. Darren Peterson is going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. So, yeah. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. When we come back, Rick Heller, head coach of the Iowa baseball team, scheduled to join us as the Hawkeyes open up the season this weekend. Lots of new faces with the Hawkeyes. Don't forget, from classic hardwood to stylish tile and cozy carpet, Iowa Floor Coverings delivers quality and service Central Iowans trust. Call or visit iowafloorcovering.com and see why it's good people and great floors. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on. Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Okay. And you said it makes that noise every time you accelerate? Got it. Right. And does it happen only when it's cold out, or does it also happen after you've warmed up for a little bit? And how does that make you feel? Is your car feeling a little down this February? Come on down to Willis Volvo Cars and we'll get her feeling good. To schedule an appointment, give us a call or go online to willisvolvocars.com.
Hey, Tanner with Liberty Lawn and Landscape here. It may be chilly now, but before you know it, spring will be here. We are now booking for spring, so get a hold of us to schedule your next project today. Serving the Des Moines Metro, we specialize in a variety of services such as retaining walls, paver patios, edging and rocking, and much more. Now offering 3D renderings to show you exactly how your project will look before beginning. Liberty is proudly veteran-owned and ready to serve you today.
Fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. Whoop. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Your wife wants flowers. The Range Rover needs an oil change. Just like every relationship needs maintenance, so does your vehicle. Let Land Rover Des Moines help out with that with $25 off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Do you have yard goals this season? Call Liberty Lawn and Landscape Solution. They are pros in lawn care, landscaping, hardscapes, and bring your outdoor space to life. From mowing to maintenance to custom design, they do it all. Visit LibertyLawnSolutions.com and get your yard ready for the spring. Speaking of the spring, I know it's still winter, but it's college baseball season, man. It is college baseball season. This weekend, the Iowa Hawkeyes kick off the season in the MLB Desert Classic. Joining us now on the Rush Radio Show, he's been on several times. We look forward to talk to him a lot this season. Head coach Rick Heller. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem.
I was going to say, how's the winter been? But it's winter. And yeah, you excited, ready for the season?
Yeah, we're excited. It's been rough with the weather, but we caught a break here right at the end, which was nice. We got out a couple days late in the week. Last week got out on Sunday, and then we'll be out again today for part of practice, and then head out Thursday morning and see where we're at.
Coach, you've been doing this a long time in Northern schools, and I've been covering college baseball for almost 30 years. Northern schools have always said, the season starts too early. And we hear that year in and year out, but it doesn't seem to get pushed back at all. Do you like where it starts, or would you rather say, hey, let's start in March and push everything back into later in June and July? What would be the optimal time?
Well, that's insanity that we're playing now, to be real honest, that it hasn't been changed 150 years or however long we've been doing it. I've been a part of 3 big pushes, underground pushes, tons of work, tons of time. And, there's just the schools in the South have always had enough power to block it. I guess I look at it right now with all that's going on in college athletics and making money probably more important than it's ever been for individual athletic departments. I think we have a window right now. I guess backtrack. I don't think a coaching movement will get it changed. I've been a part of those where the high majority was doing everything they could to get it moved back. Nothing happened. It's going to be a commissioner decision. And we're right now, the commissioners in the power conferences are the ones making a decision. It's not committees. It's not jumping through 18 hoops to get through the NCAA. They're just making decisions. and I guess we're all hopeful that our commissioner, Tony Petitti, who is a baseball guy, Tony worked for MLB Network, was a big part, if not the main guy in getting the major league or the MLB Network started, was a catcher in college. And I know Tony has been at our baseball meetings and is doing everything he can to push Big Ten baseball forward. But he knows as well as we know, and until the season changes and moves back, the RPI, everything that's out there is set up so that we can't get in the tournament. I mean, it's just the way it is. And there's not much you can do. I mean, short of have the perfect year and win every game that you're supposed to win and don't lose any of the games you're not supposed to lose. And then, oh, by the way, go south for 3 or 4 weeks and beat them on their home field when they've been playing outside and you haven't. I mean, it's just crazy. The advantages that the South has had, whatever perceived advantages they've been holding on to, whether it's stealing recruits from the North or, being able to play at home all the time while we have to travel and helping their own RPIs. I think those are going away a little bit simply because Nobody's watching those games down there either in February and March. It's basketball season, it's wrestling season. And until basketball and wrestling are over, people don't really pay attention, even in the South. I mean, they'll have some people come to the game, but it's cold down there too. You know, it's cold.
Relative.
You know, comparatively, it's about a month different than ours. So when we start playing at home in late March, and you know it's cold then, it's cold. It's that cold or colder when we go down there, unless you're going way south of Tampa, south of Houston, Arizona. But the rest of the country is pretty cold, so it does nothing good for our game. Nothing. It's not good for the players. It's not good for missing class. It's not good financially for 3/4 of the school in the country. So yeah, get me on a soapbox here right away. But I mean, just think about it. I mean, this is the dumbest thing it could possibly be. I mean, you can't even comprehend how dumb this is. Just think about it this way. If they said, oh, okay, in football, everybody south of the Mason-Dixon line has to practice in the gym in football because it's too hot. And they have to do that for the first month. They can't go outside. And then, oh, by the way, yeah, it's still too hot. So you're going to have to open up at Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, Iowa, Nebraska. You can't play at home for the first 3 weeks because it's too hot. Do you think that would fly? No way. I mean, essentially, that is exactly what we have to do every year, and nobody does anything about it. It's crazy. So
I like your soapbox, by the way.
I mean, and you can just keep going. I mean, we're the only sport that doesn't market our sport when the start of the professional season. I mean, we had won 19 games, was it 3-4 years ago, school record, and we're playing at home, and our women's basketball team's playing for the national championship when Caitlin was here, and nobody even knew we were playing. I mean, which they shouldn't have been, because they should have been paying attention to basketball. I mean, we should have been playing maybe game 1 that week. And then, I mean, the financial boom it could be for all schools marketing baseball when it should be marketed, giving us a window to play at home early without having to travel and hurting the budgets. I mean, travel right now has gone up since COVID is probably getting close to 55%, 60%. Travel costs have increased that much, and we have to travel. There's nowhere we can't play at home. We have to travel those first 3 or 4 weeks, and sometimes 5 weeks. But you know, it'd be great for TV in June. And my model, to get back to your question, my model would be, maybe the 3rd week of March, because by then almost all the northern schools could play at home, or at least be able to drive somewhere and play that week. And then we could have 3-4 weeks after we play now, where the weather's going to be warm and all of us could have good crowds and people paying to come see us play. Conference tournament roughly the 3rd week of June. Everybody except the teams making the NCAA tournament would be done before July. World Series done by mid-July, and there we go. That would be. It wouldn't be like the entire summer, like some people think or whatever, but it would be way better for the game. The kids wouldn't miss class. Just so many positives. Can't think of any negatives, to be honest with you. And then just the health, being able to ramp up your pitchers, ramp up your players at a proper pace. So it's not a full court press, once they get back from Christmas break. Like, think about it. We could start practice on January 12th. We play February 13th, and we did not have our guys with us the month before.
Wow.
It's
That's
just
great.
Looney Tunes. But we do it, and we're pretty good at it, and we've got a system down where, we can hold our own when we do get outside, and we'll keep fighting and doing what we got to do it. But if you're going to ask me, there's a million reasons why we should be playing later. And I say 3rd week of March. I mean, anything would be better than what we have. I mean, even if it was March 1st or the second week of March. Anything would be better, but it just makes sense to start it close to the start of the MLB season so we can market it together and get people excited about baseball. I mean, no one wants to come and watch a baseball game when it's 30 degrees. And
that's true.
He's got to, and they've got their first home game. Your first home game, Coach, coming up in a couple weeks, February 24th.
And I'm seeing 60 plus next Tuesday. So you're likely to see me schedule a game today and have somebody playing here next Tuesday. Because if it's going to be 60 in February, we need to be playing if it's a day we can play at home.
Call Grandview. Grandview will come over there and play you.
I know. I will probably do that.
You've got a lot of new faces, and also from the coaching staff. Has that been an adjustment? Because you lost some coaches, had to bring some new guys in. Is there an adjustment period for you when it comes to new coaches?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's tough. It's not plug and play. I mean, it's hard work. I mean, it's training, it's educating, it's helping, it's the players getting used to a new voice. And in this case, we lost our pitching coach, which is a tough one, and we've gone through it a bunch of times. It was just like the sixth time it's happened, and unfortunately, because of the professional hiring cycle, it happens at the worst possible time for us, which is either right at the end of semester or during the early January. We lost Desi Druschel and Joe Migliaccio, our hitting coach and pitching coach, one year. We lost them, like January 5th, 6th. So it's not easy. And you just have to do the best you can. And luckily this time, Wes Obermuller had been helping us for the last couple of years, and he had been working with Sean Kenny, our former pitching coach, who left for Arizona. And with the timing of this one and the youth of our staff, it just made sense. They trust Wes, they know Wes, they respect him, and Wes is a great Hawk and super proud, and we're really happy that it worked out where Wes just was able to slide into that position. And then we lost Mitch Bowe to the Washington Nationals. He took a minor league coaching job, and then we got lucky on this one as well, where David Peterson had worked with us. I believe it was 4 years ago, and then he took a job with the Dodgers as a scout, and then got back into college baseball this year. Took a job at Illinois State, but his family had never left Iowa City, so we called David right away to see if he wanted to come back, and we were really happy that he did, because he's a great coach, and all of us had worked together in the past. So that one was pretty easy as well. But losing Mitch was tough. I mean, you're losing good guys and guys that your players really care for. And
you're filling it with two guys that help with that continuity, would seem like, Coach. They understand your system. They know Iowa City.
Yeah. This one was a little easier, but it's not like you just snap your fingers and do it. I mean, you're a state school, so there's an HR process. There's a bunch of hoops that you jump through when you hire somebody. And so,
think about that stuff.
So
in my mind, Coach, you're kind of like an athletic director. You've got your short list of guys, because this can happen every January. So you've got a short list. I didn't even think about that stuff, Travis, of it being through the state hiring.
No, that's the part nobody thinks about, that it's not like that. And that's a lot of time the most painful part of the process.
Wow.
Because there are legalities. You have to do it right. You have to post it for a certain amount of time. You have to make it a fair and equitable interview process.
I think all those are, legitimate things, but I
know.
I had not thought of you having to jump over those hurdles in that moment of, I got to get a pitching coach. I got to get a hitting coach. I got to get a guy that knows me, knows my system, knows my players, knows the facilities. And then I got to submit it.
And wait.
Yeah, they have to submit it. They have to do it just like.
Do they have to fill out an application, like a real application?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not like
Obermuller,
like you would
give us
envision
3
it to be.
references. I'll use the coach as one.
No,
Oh.
and the process used to be a lot more cumbersome, but it's improved in the last 5-6 years and has some really good help in HR that make that process a lot better than the older system when I first came to Iowa. But man, it used to be. I'm not kidding you. When I first was hired here, I mean, you'd have 200 applicants for a pitching coach job, and you had to go through and grade every one of them. You had to rank
No,
them.
you knew who you wanted.
Oh yeah.
And you've
Can't
got
get out of our own ways.
180 of those have no chance, like are don't deserve to have submitted an application.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, you'd be surprised who applies for those jobs.
No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Be
You
people like
probably
me. I can do this. I can do this. Wow.
But anyway, yeah, we young pitching staff, and then 2 new full-time coaches, and then a guy named Travis Mueller, who played for me at Upper Iowa back in the 90s, was on our World Series team in '96. Travis has been in baseball, since he graduated, and he has another job, but is at a point in his career where he's helping Wes out, like director of player development. He actually took Wes's job, and that's what Wes wanted to get back into baseball a couple years ago, and we were able to get him the player development job, and so Wes has some good help in Travis. We're glad to have him helping us out here short term for this season, and the players have really adapted well, and young staff and lots of question marks, and we'll find out, I guess, a lot of those questions this weekend.
Do you feel you're ready for this weekend? And you mentioned those RPI games. That's why, I mean, you're playing Kansas State. You got Air Force. You got Northeastern. You've got the Frisco games coming up. You've got Alabama later on. Those are RPI games that you can put, and that puts a lot of pressure on to win. Because we had Kyle Peterson on a year ago. We're gonna have Kyle on right before your Frisco tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I was a good team. They just don't have the RPI. How important are these early games, even at the disadvantage?
Well, they're way more important than they should be, to be honest with you, but they are. I mean, there are no spring training games, and I still have people say, "Oh, you're going down for spring training." I'm like, no, I wish I was, but these count, and they'll hold them against you in May when they're making their selections, which is part of the issue. The biggest problem we have here at Iowa with the RPI is that we don't have any top 50, top 75, top 100 RPI teams within 150 miles. In fact, we only have 2 schools within 150 miles for midweek games. The average nationwide is like 18 or 20 schools within 150 miles. And then we only have one good RPI game that we could play, and we're not on the schedule with them. Within 250 miles.
Who's that?
So we're kind of landlocked, so to speak, with the teams that we can play midweek, and that really hurts us, and there's really nothing we can do about it, because you're not going to be flying out of the area for a midweek game, at least at this point. Some do, but we're not going to be able to do that anytime soon.
Wow, Coach.
Which to your point, makes those games really, really important, because we're not going to have an opportunity like a lot of the country. I mean, you get much further south, and you're within 2-hour drive of 20, 25 schools. When I was in Indiana State, when I went to Indiana State, that was the big eye opener for me. It was like, wow, I mean, I've got all these good teams that we can play midweek, and thus, you've seen, even since I left, and when Mitch Hannes had them really rolling here a few years ago, when we played them in the regional, they were the number 8 RPI team in the country. The RPI, you can manipulate the RPI if you have teams to play.
Yeah, if you don't have any strength of schedule guys in there, you can't play the game.
No, and then unfortunately in the Big Ten, we have to go south, and then you're just not going to win. A 17-team league is not going to win at a 75% clip when you're traveling, when the majority of the league is traveling 4 or 5 weeks. But that's what it takes for that RPI to flip and help you in conference play. So we have to basically go rogue and not have we're trying. We've had RPI help on Boyd from Boyd's World. He does the pseudo RPI, and he has great ideas on how to fix it. And we haven't done it yet, but he's got great ideas.
A lot of good ideas on how to fix stuff out there.
Yeah, but Boyd was on a Zoom with all the Big Ten coaches and our administration that oversees baseball in the Big Ten, just educating everyone on what we can do now. Until it moves back, not fixing it, but here's some low-hanging fruit that we can try to avoid this. You can try to do this, but we try to do all that. It's just everybody says in the North, you got to win those games. Well, if you look at the SEC, ACC, Southern, Big 12, just someday if you're bored, just look at the schedules they play. I'm talking every team in their league. The first 3-4 weeks, they play at least, if they play 4 non-con, like the ACC plays 3 non-con, then they start conference, and then they have a bye. Okay, so 4 non-con the whole season. The SEC plays 4 straight non-con, no bye during the season. So say the SEC, they're going to schedule 3 weekends at home where they are going to win every game. They're playing somebody they know they're going to win. Then they'll play 1 tournament or 1 challenging weekend out of those 4. That's on average. If a guy thinks he might have a really, really good team, he might play 2 challenging weekends and then 2 that he's going to win every game. Long story short, their whole conference is going to win 75, 76% of the game.
Yeah.
So when they play the last place team in the SEC, the RPI doesn't go down.
Right.
I'll give you an example. If what we have had to do, we all schedule tough, right? Because we know we have to have the RPI games, and you hope you survive it. You hope you're the one, and you hope you have that year where, all right, it clicked and you caught the breaks and you won a bunch of those games. But the problem is, let's say it doesn't work, right? Well, then your RPI crashes, and then by April, you're playing great baseball. You're probably a regional team, and then your RPI is at 120, and somebody in the league plays you that did survive it, and then their RPI drops when they play you. That's just how it works.
The Kansas State game is going to be on MLB TV, Coach. Good luck to you. We'll be watching it. Hey, keep your phone on because we're going to get in touch with you. You guys are playing in Des Moines at the end of the season.
Yeah,
out to LA. We want you to be live in LA with us if you don't mind. At 4
That'd be great. I'm looking forward to that. I've never played at USC, and then we'll have UCLA at home, and they'll likely be the number 1 team in the country and have the best player in the country. And Rob Chalowski, their shortstop, amazing player. And then we play Air Force Saturday. That's the MLB game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I thought it was K-State.
Yeah, it's going to be on the MLB network. The first 2 games, Kansas State and Northeastern, will be streamed on MLB Live for free, I heard. So you can watch them all, but we're on the big channel. And Coach Kaz from Air Force, his wife's from a Hawkeye. So a few years ago, I don't know if you guys remember, he called me, and they came to Iowa City and they flew out in Air Force 2.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
And I said,
you need travel like that.
Why do you want to come out here and play me? He said, I promised my wife 1 home game.
That's awesome. Coach, good luck this weekend. We'll catch up soon as the season goes
thanks
along.
For having me, guys. Good stuff.
Yep. Coach Rick Heller of the Iowa Hawkeye baseball team, Hawkeyes in action. You can watch them on the Major League Baseball app and on Major League Baseball TV as they take on Air Force, Northeastern, and Kansas State. What's up, Justin?
How's it going, boys?
Good. Buddy. How are you?
Doing really good. I got a couple of things for you guys.
Okay.
Early in the show, you mentioned how there wasn't any press release from Drake about Woodley.
Has there been one?
Yeah, there was one yesterday.
There was
what time did it come out?
Long after.
I think what we said though, I don't think we'd seen anything official from Rutgers, which was why people were still hesitant. But there was.
I said Drake.
Did you say Drake? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did.
So, okay, Justin, you can correct me on my correction of your correction.
And then the last thing, you mentioned how Drake could possibly go after, you mentioned Kyle Kemp. Then he also said Adam Cox. Can't go after Adam Cox. He is going to Rutgers. He is their new safeties coach.
Wow.
So,
was that
there
part
you
of the?
go.
Did that happen a couple days ago, or did I miss that?
That was yesterday. Is when I saw it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Woodley?
No, I sent him a text yesterday. One, just like thanking him for coming on my show as often as he did, but I wanted to try to talk to him too. So we'll see what happens.
I just got a text from Brian Harden. He apologized because the men's. He goes between the men's basketball game last night, which Drake lost to Valpo.
Didn't score a single point for the final 2 minutes.
Oh, that's tough. And he goes between the men's basketball game and all the text he got over football. My text went way down the totem pole. So understandably, we're still going to work on trying to get Brian on. But so that is more change at Drake. If you missed our conversation about Joe Woodley, just go back, re-listen to the show. We spent the first half hour talking about it. Kind of a surprising. Were you surprised?
Oh, absolutely. I sent you guys that text as soon as I saw it. Like, wait, what? Woodley's leaving? The guy has been in Des Moines for like 50 years.
40.
Yeah.
Born and raised. Well, I don't think he was born here, but yeah, Des Moines is home. Big change. Big.
I'm happy for him as a Bulldog fan. It sucks.
Yeah.
It just, and I feel bad for Brian too. Like, can he go one summer where he's like, oh, I don't have to think about hiring someone?
No, especially in 2026, as Stepsis was talking about. And it's not just a Drake
part of the gig.
So that's maybe if there's any consolation for Brian Harden, it's got to be that. It's not you.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's the environment. It's the pool you're swimming in.
And I think too, like every Drake fan would rather have it be where the coaches are winning, and that's why you're having to hire than the other way around.
Brian Harden's got to feel that way about it too. He's not firing guys.
Yeah.
Just got another text from Brian. It looks like we're going to have him tomorrow. He's meeting with the. He has a meeting at 7:30, so he goes, it's going to have to be before that. If it's 6:30 or 7, we'll take you. We got questions to ask. Fun show today. I want to thank Rick Heller, head coach of the Iowa baseball team. I want to have a beer with that guy because it would be a 4-hour conversation. Want to thank Todd Stepsis, head coach of the Northern Iowa Panthers.
4 hours with him, you could ask 2-3 questions.
But they're, he's passionate. There's no doubt about it. And he's got opinions. We're back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Everybody have a great Tuesday. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
New year, new lease on life, or on a new Nissan Kicks. Right now, we have a $299 per month lease on our 2026 Kicks SV. Also, take advantage of 0% financing on our 2026 Rogues and Muranos and our remaining 2025 Pathfinders. And we are thrilled to have the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra on our lot. This sporty compact sedan is ready to carry you through the new year in style. For more information, stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the champagne of bars.
The following advertisement is for people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.